How we all doing? How we doing? Let me get this shared over here. I actually, while I'm doing this, slightly funny story. I hope the audio is okay. I upped the music slightly. Hopefully it's not really loud. I don't know. We'll see. I'm actually going to turn it down a little bit more on my speakers so I can't hear it as much. What was I going to say? I just started literally right now. Let there be light. I just started working on a stream starting soon thing. And by that, I literally mean I just copied one of the ones that I had, and I'm going to start working on that here in a second, or maybe like tomorrow or something like that. But I thought of it as I was getting on here, and I was like, should have done that, but it's not a big deal. Regardless, actually, let me do, where is that at? I'm going to turn off LinkedIn because we can't stream to LinkedIn because LinkedIn is bullshit. Actually have a huge audience, huge comparatively to the other shit that I have on LinkedIn. And we can't stream on LinkedIn because it's like in some sort of beta program, and I've applied multiple times and they won't let me in. But oh well. Let's dive in, shall we? It's 1 a.m. Transition, coolness, awesome. I love that. Okay. Today was a day, man. It was a day and a half, honestly. Straight up just working hard all day. Woke up and I had a call at, I think it was 11 or something, and I woke up at like 10. Took trash down, did little things like that. I was kind of getting my room in order and getting the computer set up for what I needed to do. Had some client work, like I said, for Find It Tech. I feel like this music is pretty loud. I might have to turn it down a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still getting the hang of that. Anyway, so we had some client work that we're working on. Website's coming out great. Very excited for everything we're learning, the way that we're doing it. And I actually have a little bit more to talk about that down here at the bottom here, so we'll get to that in a second. But did that. I got the mail at some point. My new Citi card did come. I was happy about that because I thought that wasn't going to come. I didn't know when that was going to come because it hadn't. I thought it should have been here by now, but that's good that it came. And just as a word of financial knowledge, sometimes your cards will get fraud on them. Like, I mean, it's pretty regular. I would say, especially given how often people run their cards in different places nowadays. And I don't know, I can't pinpoint where exactly it happened to me at, but it's not really a big deal. Thank you. I'm not gonna do that, but I appreciate that. Good eye, Mike, if you're from Australia. Thank you. Appreciate that. Some guy, average, BLW average. I appreciate that. But anyway, the fraud on the cards. So, like, occasionally you'll probably get that, honestly. Like, from my experience so far, I have 8 credit cards and it's happened to me twice. So, just kind of be careful with that. But it's not normally the end of the world, and they normally just call you up or they send you an email or whatever, and you can say, hey, here's the charges that were messed up, that weren't me, and they'll send you a new card with new numbers, and it's normally problem solved. And that is what happened with me. I did that, and they sent me out this new card. Change the payment methods is the big thing that I was going to say. Is like the thing that you'll probably forget most of the time is that, okay, well, I have this subscription, all on this card. And some places seem to like auto update that, but I don't think all of them do. So like, let's say you have Netflix on that card. Well, the next time they go to charge that, it's probably going to get, declined. So make sure you do that. I didn't have too many. I just had some like Google stuff on there. So I took care of that. This was funny though. So there was 2 charges. There was one for like $300 at like an H&M, and there was another one at like H&M in New York, and another one that was there was another one at a Walmart in Arkansas. I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, so that wasn't me. And it was funny because now today, looking at the account, the one for Walmart in Arkansas, that one's still there. It's like $100 and some. So I was like, Well, I'm gonna pay the other things that I actually purchased, but I might have to circle back and say, yo, what the fuck with is up with that. So that is an interesting thing. But again, that's the world of having credit cards and finance and all that sort of shit. So hopefully that gets rectified. Then I spent a lot of my time after I got off that client call and kind of took care of some of that stuff. I spent probably 3 hours. Generally, it's about 3 hours, like editing an episode of Fueled by Progress. Which, you know what? Why the hell not? Let's let's go take a gander. It's still not publicly accessible, so sorry. But if you'd like to go there and show some support and like either subscribe to the YouTube channel, that would be awesome. Would appreciate that. I think we're up to 28 subscribers, and I don't know how we got there because I think just recently it was obviously less than that. But real quick update on a story that I talked about probably a week ago or something. When you're in a space like that, whether it's web development, podcasting, literally it can be anything. There's like a lot of, you don't realize is there's a lot of other people that are probably interested in that as well. And you can find that shit out, like you can find those communities like in other places. So on Facebook, I realized that I could probably go and type in like podcasting peeps or something like that. Like whoever does podcasting, and get some info from people, but more so just like a community of people that like podcasts and maybe a way to promote stuff. People hopefully share stuff, things like that, whatever. And I have been answering some people's questions, and I've been trying to, add any value I can, and I'm posting new episodes on there. I did that last week. I'm going to continue to do that because it's just self-promotion. Like self-promotion is like I'm seeing people promote themselves that like the product that they're outputting is much less than mine, and I'm not shitting on them in any way, but I just realized very recently that like the stuff that I produce is very fucking high quality, and I'm very proud of it, and I've worked hard to get to where I'm at. Like the way I just like attack things, and I just set them up. I spend money, I do shit that I need to do, and that's just kind of the way that I roll. So there's other people out there that want to just get something out there, and I give them huge kudos because a lot of people just don't do anything. But if there's any way that I can give back, or there's any way that I can like show off the stuff that I'm doing and hopefully get some support in return, and just like kind of build that whole community thing, that's really what I'm trying to do with Fueled by Progress and what we're trying to do with AM and the PM and stuff. So that's the update on the kind of the community aspect of people and podcasting and stuff like that, and trying to learn and do all those types of things. So that's going well though. Like I said, I processed that whole episode today. Actually kind of late because normally I do that on Mondays, but today was that, and tomorrow will be AM and PM. Then I traveled over to my buddy Burhan's house. He's been on the stream before. And I built a table and a chair. I'm getting pretty good at building furniture. I built this desk that we're currently working on. There's like a 5-drawer little like box thing. It's like a, what is it? It's like kind of like just like a little dresser almost type thing, but there's a better term for it. It's like you could put clothes in it. Like it's like a little dresser. It's like on wheels, but it's not. I don't use it for that. I just use it for like keys and my wallet and like other like little things. It's the only storage that I have because I try to be as minimal as possible. I think that is extremely vital. I see so many people that are just fucking like they just have so much shit, and honestly, like it's something that I'm seriously concerned about. Just as I continue to grow older, like I don't want to have things that I don't use because it's just anxiety and stress, in my opinion. So. But I'm, like I said, getting pretty good at building furniture. So we built a table and a chair, honestly, I think in like an hour and a half, 2 hours or something like that. So that was cool. And that was awesome. I don't think it's on my Instagram. I should have put it on my Instagram. It was on Snapchat or whatever, but regardless. I also, while I was there, I had my first mango milkshake. Maybe I can, let's see here. If I go to my website, which again, you guys should go check out because I got good content on there. This is the website. It's not done, but it's a work in progress. If you want to know about any of the gear that I have, I always plug this one because this one can potentially make me money, but also I don't know why it's being so slow right now, but it can make me money, but also like it's literally a fuck ton of value in this page, and I'm trying to make it even better. But this is everything that I use and reasons. Not only that, like I'm not just like hey, this is what I use. You shoot it. Like this is like there's like a little small like review thing here. And again, if you have any questions, if you ever want to know like why I use the things, I'm obviously not done, like I said, but if you ever have any questions on like, even like if you read this, for instance, and you're like, well, why should I get this still? Like, I don't really, what's your like review after using it and like all that sort of stuff. Don't be afraid to message me. I will answer that. I've gotten questions about this microphone right here. I've gotten questions about the PC that I built, all this sort of shit. So that's a big, I really think that this is an important page. Like, this is all the whole podcasting setup. Like, I need to, I've been meaning to get like a little link to go directly to here, just like a little anchor link. So I can just give somebody that and it'll slide them right to this podcast thing. I'm actually working on something different too, the way that this is laid out. But the point is that like, if you want to start a podcast and you want it to be like the same quality as like mine, for instance, right? It's not like the absolute best, but I think it's above average for sure. Like, this is everything I use right here. And it fucking works brilliantly. So that's what I mean, is just trying to, continue to add some value in those types of ways. Anyway, what I was going to say is I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom. It's a little messed up down here still, like I said. I'm going to copy this Instagram link, and you should go follow me on Instagram because, again, I post funny things and food from time to time. And I'm going to go to Instagram right now, and I don't know what's on my Instagram story, and I don't know what's going to happen when I click this because we're trying to play music. So let's see together what happens. This was funny. This is just like I guess this is what is this? Is this a phone book? Like, why was this in my front yard? Go watch that if you want. I don't know. I don't want to play the sound really. And then I had a mango milkshake. This is what I was trying to get to. So my buddy Burhan, his mom is in town, and she made me a mango milkshake. So that was tasty. But yeah, so I was over there, did that. Solid mango milkshake. First time I ever had that. And then played some hockey, played 2 games. That was nice. Won both. Played absolutely terrible, so that was good. Was not my best, but wins are nice, and exercise is fun. So keeps me sane. Okay, what else do we have here? So there's a couple like 2 little things, and I'll just like mention this. Like, I desperately need an FBP guest for this week. Like, this might be the latest it's ever gone. I've reached out to a couple people, and the last minute scheduling is not a good idea. So I'm going to need to find a guest for FBP, because that's important. Like, it goes up next Wednesday, obviously. Normally I film sometime like between Thursday and Sunday. It's just whatever days we don't film an AM and the PM generally. So yeah, we need to find an FBP guest. I have some ideas. I have a big list of people that I'd like to ask, but again, I want to do it more in advance from now on, and I'm not doing that just because like I'm kind of taking it week by week. So that is something that I need to get done. And then this is an idea that crossed my mind. So I want to talk about this here for a little bit, and I don't know. I guess I'll just leave it on here. Whatever. This scene here, I could switch to the wide one, but forget it for now. This basically, okay, pieces of website.course. So I really enjoy building websites. Like, I do. But I don't, like, there's so much to building websites that like is a super big pain in the ass. And the biggest part is like kind of like dealing with clients and like educating them. I enjoy that part. I do enjoy educating people on pretty much anything that I know well. I really do like that. Obviously from these streams, I try to do some of that. Fucking, I'm going wide. Transition, cool stuff. But what I was getting at there is when I build a website for somebody, it's difficult. It's not difficult because like it's hard to build a website, but it's hard to like every single new client you have, you're like explaining the whole process again, which I think is important. You should do that, but at the same time, I don't really have the process laid out very well. I have a decent process, but I don't have it to the point where it's like, here's exactly what you're going to experience, and this is exactly what I'm going to give you, and boom, 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 and this is how much it's going to cost. And like, it's a little wavy because I haven't done it enough times yet. But this like set of this website that we're working on right now has taught me a lot. So I'm very excited to make some changes before I get my next client. And, hopefully we can continue there, because I do enjoy this, the actual act of being like a web developer, WordPress web developer, but I don't know how long of a play it is. Like, I don't ever want to get rid of I'm not ever going to lose my clients as far as hang them out to dry or lose the business. But, it's something that I'd like to scale more. And I've talked about this before, but let me get to the point of this. So the point that I had was, I was building this website and I was going through and I was doing different things. A very simple website, just has a blog and stuff like that. What I noticed was that I can easily, other people have done this before, but I can easily make like a little course or a website, like documents or something like that, like nothing super in depth, but something that lays out every single thing that you need for a website. For instance, like the list was on the screen, but it doesn't really matter because it's just a bunch of random stuff that I put on there. So for instance, let me just explain. Let me try to do it as like a website per se. Like, you need a header. Generally, you need a header where the menu is and stuff like that. You need a footer, something at the bottom. So something at the top, something at the bottom. That's generally across all the pages, right? These are just pieces, but they're important to note these, because if you don't, what I've noticed is that when you don't tell the client all the things you're going to do, they think that you're either going to do nothing or you're not going to do a lot of work, or what the deal is. Like, when you tell them explicitly everything you're going to do, they're probably not going to understand everything, but at the same time, hopefully you educating them and telling them that is going to, explain to them how the large amount of value that you're going to bring to them and justify costs and things like that. So you have like things like header, you have things footer. Basic pages that you absolutely need are about and contact. I would say that you can obviously have like shop and all those other things, but that's kind of variable. A big thing that is often overlooked is just like things that are smaller. So like a 404 page, like if you type in, markjosemancy.com/gobbledygook or whatever, that doesn't mean anything. Then you have a page that says, oh, hey, this doesn't exist. Go back to the home page. So something like that. You've probably seen that before. If you have a blog, you need to have a template for how the blogs are going to show up. So that's like kind of like a little page or template, however you want to think about it. You have, this is an important one. There is something when, like, if you've ever taken a website and pasted it into Facebook or LinkedIn or something, then a thing comes up, like a preview, like a little image and a link generally. And that is called like an open graph image or like a social sharing image, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. It might have different names. But the point is that you can control that image on different pages, on the home page, all that sort of stuff. So you need to set that, and it needs to be a certain size and have like whatever you want on it. And, so that is another important thing that often gets overlooked. So just stuff like that, logos, contact forms, maybe a coming soon page if you want to keep it like hidden, just all that sort of stuff. And like, I just have some experience with this, and I want to build something that I can, maybe in text format or, in video format or something like that, to just explain that sort of stuff. I think it's valuable. I think it's important. The only problem, like if I'm playing devil's advocate, the only problem with that is that I have a YouTube channel, for instance, for Find a Tech, right? But I'm not posting enough content on that to compete or like to even like look like I'm the same type of person or in the same category as like other people that I've learned from. So like people like A Nerd's World, WP Crafter. I don't expect you to know those people, but they're people that I really appreciate, put up the content that they do, and they do a great job, and they do it very often. So there's a little bit of concern on my end that like I don't want to get too wide with the things that I do, because if you get really wide, then you can't go up. Now I'm not getting any wider though, as far as like things that I'm doing. Like if you looked on my website, if you looked on, honest to God, I'm gonna put another link in this description, because this one's the whole kit and caboodle here. It is mjs.industries. That is the parent company to everything that I do, and it has all of the websites like listed in there, all of the businesses. So that is that's like my whole empire that I'm building. But the point is that, regardless of what you're doing and all of the things that you have going on, like I have a lot of interests and I want to pursue all of them, but at the same time, like I got to make sure that I'm also building up, because when I think of it as not getting any wider, meaning that I'm not going to add any more niches or any more industries to the shit that I'm doing, because I'm already like, it's borderline too much at this point. So again, trying to build up, trying not to add more things to my plate before I can offload some of them to other people and start making some money and do stuff like that. But I'm excited about the way that we're progressing, because we keep pushing out this content on Fueled by Progress and AM and the PM. We do the daily lives, daily MJS daily recap here, which I did not introduce. So this is the MJS daily recap. Welcome if you're still here. And yeah, so I'm enjoying it. We got a lot of work to do, and I'm very excited for everything that we're doing. But yeah, that was kind of my day. Like I said, it was kind of like a lot of running today. Running around doing different things. Tomorrow should be kind of the same, honestly. I have to process an episode for AM and the PM. I have to finish a little bit of the FBP stuff. Might hang out with Amanda, and maybe client work or MJS website work. I don't know, but we're just continuing to build and build and build. So I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for the support. If you want to check out any of those links, feel free to do so. We're gonna have merch. We're gonna have merch on AM and the PM. We kind of already do. I kind of jumped into that project and then stopped all of a sudden, so got to kind of look into that a little bit more. We're gonna have this fucking clothing for Fueled by Progress at some point. That is gonna absolutely happen. And yeah, so again, thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate you tuning in, and I will talk to you tomorrow. See you.